Hello everyone, today I'm here to do my June wrap-up. Wrap-ups in a row. I did a May wrap-up and I'm doing a June wrap-up, so I'm doing great for reading so far. I read a total of 5 books this month. If you guys didn't already know, I participated in the TBR Takedown Challenge, or pretty much a week-long challenge where you have 5 different challenges and you try to eliminate a lot of your TBR. I decided to make that a full month because reading 5 books in a week is really not plausible for me, so I did it for the whole month. If you guys want to see, I did a video all about that and the challenge and stuff. I'm sorry to say I did not complete all of the challenges. I completed 4 of them, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, let's get on to the books I read. First book I actually read an ebook, and it's Cruel Beauty by Rosamund something. I read it because it was like, if you go on Amazon or something and you have a book and you put, and then at the bottom it'll say people also bought these books when they bought this one book. So I read this right after I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses because I was on that kind of a high, you know, when you finish that amazing book, like an amazing book, you just want to read every single book in that type of genre. That's what happened for me. I wanted to read every book like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it was listed on there, and I've heard things about it, so I was like, I'll give it a whirl. I was very disappointed. It was a very weird book. It was kind of supposed to be like an interpretation of Beauty and the Beast, but it was so odd. It was hard to keep up with. I was a toss of a coin. Like, you either hate it or you love it, and I was on the hated side, so I only gave it a 2 out of 5 because I don't know what to write. Books were part of the TBR Takedown, and the first book I read was The Sacred Lives of Minna Bly by Stephanie Elks. I actually have a book review of this, so click the book if you want to see it. This is about a girl who is in a cult she grew up in a cult, and then when she rebels, she gets her hands cut off, she ends up in juvie, and pretty much what happens, she has to retell what happened to her while she was in the cult. Very, very interesting book, very odd book, but I really liked it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 because it was odd and it was awesome, and I really recommend it. The next book I read is The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee. I have a review on this one as well. Actually, I filmed a joint review of both of these books. This is a retelling of 1001 Nights, and it's about this girl. It's about this king who takes a wife every night, and then by sunrise, the wife is killed. So this one girl, but she volunteers to be the wife because her best friend was killed by the king, and she wants to figure out why this is happening, and she wants to take the king down herself. This was a very, very good book. I loved it so much. I will say it is very, very hard to understand because it's got a lot of words and I didn't know, so luckily there is a glossary in the back, so definitely that will be your friend. But overall, I really loved this. It was a very, very good love story and kind of had that story of the 1001 Nights in there. I love that, so I gave this one a 4 out of 5. So if you're interested in any of these books, check out my review videos of them. So yeah. The book I read is Open Road Summer by Emery Lord, and I have to say I didn't really love this one, and I was surprised because I've heard so many good things about it. And if you guys don't already know, I love contemporary. I'm like the contemporary. I just love contemporary. I read contemporary a ton. I love it, and so yeah. So needless to say, I had high hopes for this book, and this is about a girl named Reagan. She decides to go on tour with her best friend Dee. It's almost like Dee's like Taylor Swift. She's a country like kind of star, and she's very popular, and Reagan got over a bad breakup. She's trying to like do better, and then she meets this guy that's also on tour named Matt, and they kind of fall in love. It was a good book in that aspect, but the not so good book is there was a lot of like shaming in this book on this. Reagan is, I'm not gonna lie, Reagan's a B. She was a B, and every time any type of girl that would talk to Matt, which by the way, Matt's like the equivalent in this book to me is like a Jonas brother or something, she would get really, really upset when the girl would talk to him. I'm like, well, he's like a famous dude. Of course these girls are gonna flirt with him. Let's be real here, okay? So you're just gonna have to, you know, check your ego at the door when you date somebody like that, because you have to be like, well, they really want me, but there's gonna be like 1001 girls fawning over them. So she was just like, she would be like, that girl's such a slut, they're a whore, I just better than that. And I was just really, really not liking her for that. And I just thought, ugh. And the fact that the girl Dee, aka Taylor Swift in this book, which by the way I love Taylor Swift, she was thought very highly in this book. Like, she was put up on a pedestal, if you will, and like she did nothing wrong and none of that. And I was like, girl gotta have some flaws. Every girl's got flaws. Every single person in this world's got flaws. So I didn't really like it. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was okay. Now, I have already bought Emery Lord's second book, The Start of Me and You, or something like that, and I got an ebook, so I'll read that one and let you know. I hope I like it because I really want to like Emery Lord. I think she's an awesome author. I love the way she writes. I just didn't like her characters that much. Reagan, ugh. So yeah, I give this one a 3 out of 5. The last book I read was Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. I have a review of this video up as well as a giveaway. Has that ended yet? I don't know. This is about a girl who is OCD. She has these thoughts that she can't quite process or like get out of her head, and she has these friends that's almost like the mean girls, if you will, and she doesn't like who she is when she's with them, so she's really struggling to find herself, and she finds this thing called the Poet's Corner, and she meets all these new people, including a love interest, and it's a really, really sweet book, a really awesome book filled with poetry. It really will ignite the poet in you, which I love that, so I really like this one as well. This is definitely one of my favorites of the month. I would say this one and The Wrath and the Dawn are my favorites of the month, so I give this one a 4 out of 5. So yeah, those are the books I read. I read 5 this month, and I think that's great. I think that is awesome. I hope I keep up this 5 a month regimen. It's a great regimen. I'm going to hope that it happens for July. As far as the books I'm reading for July, stay tuned for my book haul coming out in a few days or so of books I ordered. Those will pretty much be all the books I will be reading in July and August, so there's your TBR pretty much. But anyway, if you have read any of these books, please let me know what you thought, or what books did you read this month? I would love to know. That is all for me, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Dictionary page, and it says books are a uniquely portable magic, and that quote is by Stephen King. So they give you a dictionary page, and yeah, I